more interested in a portfolio that has those great foundations, the great personality and storytelling, the appeal that we talked about, and someone who does not know vector art whatsoever. I'm more interested in that candidate than I am someone who is an expert at vector art, but doesn't have the skills yet, right? The technical aspect of Illustrator can be taught.
Yeah.
And that's why, I was kind of okay just faking my way through it, right?
Yeah.
So it would give you a leg up, and I think ears would perk up if you were someone who had a great portfolio and also check it out. I know vector art. That would be like, oh, whoa, look at this, So it's something to consider, but it's not the most important thing that we look at. So, and speaking of kind of wrangling, let me see if I can find.
Do you have any other book suggestions on maybe fundamentals of the, I know you suggested the Drawn to Life book,
Yeah.
those 2 volumes, but then do you have any suggestions of maybe books that you feel talk about animation or?
Yeah, when I think of that, I think of the basics that I loved kind of as a fan, like the old one, The Illusion of Life. All the Art of books, of course, just
The
looking
what,
at
what did you say?
like the Art of books, all the the film reference things. But as far as actual technique and stuff, I'm not sure. I know, I read through some of that stuff as a student, and I wouldn't be able to remember
That's so valid.
specifically what it was.
You bring these your class textbook.
I'll keep thinking on it, and if anything comes to me, we'll bring it up.
Okay.
But yeah, I wanted to share this. So this is a piece of vector art as well. But you can see it's much more polished, it's much more rendered. We're using all kinds of gradients and stuff here.
What the underlay for that is.
And so, for example, if we turn this into, but if you come in here close and look at what's happening here, it's like layer.
Yeah.
Just a piece of it. It's like layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer to build out a nice, clean, rendered look. So, and that's for kind of each one of these pieces.
Wow.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you'd have to be nuts to try and build this out.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really fascinating what can be done in vector art. When you kind of hear that product design is asking for something like this, we all kind of panic a little bit because it's a lot to try and figure out, but it can be done, right?
Yeah.
So again, it's using all of kind of all the tricks that you can pull out, whether it be opacity, gradients, clipping masks, all these different tools, and using them in a way that allows you to mimic what in Photoshop would just be a couple different layers of, you'd have your shadow and your highlight layer. But in vector art is kind of much more complicated. So, and we do that with all our characters. So, these one, we don't do this with, she's got a lot of this.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow.
So much- so much makeup.
Yeah. He's
I-
like
I
putting
didn't
on
know
makeup
this,
foundation.
Yeah, that's great.
Gradients do you think is used on a daily?
Yeah, it really
Depends
depends,
on-
like on her face there, you can see there's probably 12-ish. But I would think like something like that's only it's one gradient with a highlight on it. So that's a little more to the point, right? You have a white highlight and you have one shape with a gradient applied. So that's a little more to the point, and you still get a nice render on it. I'm gonna guess the dress itself is not as simple.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
The dress has
Yeah.
four layers. So it's probably like so that's a shadow, a highlight, a
And this
second
is why
shadow
they
pass
need-
probably
you
in a
can teach that,
slightly
but if you
separate
don't know how to
direction
make
to-
shadows
to
and highlights, then that's a problem.
point it a little better, and then the actual
So
shape
you can always
itself.
learn
And the
how to
shape,
apply that.
yeah, it looks like the shape itself has a slight gradient to it too. So 4 or 5 layers for the dress, which is, not overly dramatic, but you do it all the time.
Comparison?
It turns into a lot, so yeah, that
What's the
is,
most detailed one on here? Like, 'cause I know you can only get so much with rendering. What's the farthest you say you guys have pushed it? This far?
I would honestly say the princesses are about as far as we go. As far as this kind of style. There's also, I don't know if I can think of any, like we do texture brushes as well that will kind of inkscape. And so we just do the brush stroke in Photoshop and then pull that into Inkscape so that it gives you these like really messy textured shapes, but it kind of implies the texture in vector. So you get kind of a nice thing. It never looks kind of quite as honed as in Photoshop and subtle, but it can be done. So at this point, that's all I had to show you, but happy to take questions for the last 10 minutes here.